What's on Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339.0, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam.
Is the COVID-19 pandemic affecting your business or your livelihood? Are you struggling to pay your pending and current bills? Then you must listen very carefully. Premium advertising will expose your business to thousands of people instantly by using both digital and terrestrial radio and a wide range of social media platforms to get your business out there and start making money. It is that simple, so don't delay. Contact us to advertise your business on New Style Radio 98.7 FM, www.newstyleradio.co.uk, and all multiple social media platforms. Our highly trained digital marketing team will create a bespoke digital marketing strategy tailored to get your business up and running and making money in no time. Don't delay, call us today. Our team is standing by. 07584197380. WhatsApp us on 07872443765 or email us at newstyleradio@yahoo.com. Hi there. Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome once again to another program in the series of What's on Your Mind. The program is produced by Breakthrough TV, and I am Carl. So how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. It's been a fairly good day for myself and my team. It's been very, very nice. The rain has started late in the afternoon, but it was quite okay earlier part of the day. Let me say, first I must say thanks for all you guys who's been supporting the program. Maximum respect to each and every one of you. Thank you for taking the time to watch the program, taking the time to share the program, and do what you do. We say massive respect. I'm also supposed to tell you that this is a live stream, yeah? So we're coming to you live. So if you see a bit of glitch and a bit of we're alive, it's coming through. There's no editing. I'm directly where I am now, coming to you directly, yeah? So please enjoy the program and let us know what your views are on the program. And I say we're a small company trying to achieve different programs, So with your support and with your help, we can do different programs, which I always say, programs for the community, program with art, program for the senior citizen, documentaries, and even program about history programs, teaching programs. We want to do as much as we can with your help. Yeah. As you know, in this program, I always look at a few of the things that's happening around the world, on what I call a few of the headlines, and then I'll go into my rants. My rants. I've been called many names, but the latest one I'm not going to say. But that's how it is. So let me start looking at a few things that's been happening around the world. The Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries in Paradise Church is a disgrace. And this is coming from Reuben Williams from St. Thomas. Reuben Williams is actually what you could call the local Obiaban. And this is what he's saying. And I think why I've actually picked up on this story is because nobody else has said anything. I haven't heard any of the very official people, the MPs or the councillors or anybody has said anything about this. The official, what you would expect from official people. So I haven't heard anybody say this. So that's why I actually quoting Reuben Williams. And he said the church, with the sort of ritual conduct, has actually reminded him of witchcraft. That is very strong. That is very strong. The church at the head of this this big story, as I say, is the Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministry in Paradise. Yeah. And there has been a lot of things that's been going on in little old Jamaica. As you know, I always say. The church leader, one Kevin O'Simit, and he was arrested after it was alleged that in last week's story where there was sacrifice been going on at his church, and one lady had a clash, and the police had to go in, you know what I mean, and rescue some people, and they arrested him. Well, they arrested him, and he was on his way from St. Thomas to St. James. He was on his way from St. James to Kingston, and he was involved in a motor accident. But before that, when he was arrested, he actually was at the station, and he was actually talking to a few policemen in the station. I'm gonna see if we can find something of what he was saying to these police officers. Here he is.
Rapture is the reaping. No, but you said 9 o'clock you have open at the heart. Rapture is raptus, which is rape, torture. That is what the rapture is. I come with salvation. I do not come to rape my people of their freedom, of their breath. You have to pay in this nation to walk your carbon footprints. If you march in this nation, you must pay. If you breathe in this nation, you must pay. Do you not understand that Pharaoh has built his great house and he is stepping on your necks? Pharaoh tried to bring me down, but I am that I am. All you people of the world, I came to you in this form. I am son of the soil, born in Glengorf, Arizona, Victoria, the year of jubilee and victory. But what happened? Oh, hospital, mat. They made my life a mat. I
say, here we have
look at this night when I came to call all of my sheep,
story about
the stray sheep from the 12 tribes of the nation. The thunder comes, the cloud comes, and the rain comes. But you did not believe my report.
A lot of the officers seems to be, they call him Excellency and His Highness and all that sort of thing, and sir, you know what I mean? Because generally you will get arrested. Police don't call you sir or don't give you those titles. So this man must be a very, very important man. You know, we're also gonna see if we find something about his crash, because he was actually traveling from St. James, going towards Kingston, and he was in a car crash, and he died. Unfortunately, he died, and also a police officer was also killed, and I think you had 2 persons who was actually injured, and it's just one of those things that sometimes happens. You don't know what's gonna happen, and the question everybody's asking is why did they use just there was a better road that they could have used, you know what I mean? But they didn't use the very good road, what we call a very good road. They used another sort of, not so good road. That's the only way I can put it. And he ended up being crashing that road. And a lot of people are talking about the old conspiracy theory, because no matter what happens, you always sort of get a conspiracy theory. So, and it's just a shame that one police officer died, and they say 2 are very, very seriously injured, and we hope they're recovered very, very soon. And let's say we're trying to find something about where the crash came in, or where we here's the crash where they're actually traveling from St. James. As I say, it's not the normal, good, what we call a very good road. Yeah? And I say, where's the crash? God said those people has been rescued. And we see him being rescued there. And the thing about that, when I look at that rescue, and I'm not criticizing anyone, the thing about that rescue is that they just take him out and just, put him down like that. Nothing with his head or anything like that. The policeman you see is that the policeman that he was also killed in the accident. And we say big condolence to that police officer's family. It's just such a serious situation that is actually going on. And we don't know where it's gonna end because we wasn't expecting him to be killed in a car crash. Definitely not. We thought he would just go to be charged and then he'll be sentenced. But you could never imagine within a couple of days. I think it was about 5 days or 6 days of him being, of the whole complex being raided by police. You would never ever dream something would have developed so quickly. Also, there's a police officer that is giving us the lowdown on exactly what has happened. So we hope we can see this police officer telling us about the lowdown. That's what happened. That's the head of the police department. Let's hear what she has to say.
Traveler Force lost his life in a motor vehicle accident this morning. What we know so far that 2 vehicles were traveling to Kingston, taking the two suspects from St. James in the incident last week involving the church leader and another member. They were taking them to the Major Investigation Division in Kingston to be formally charged. About 9:30, we understand that there was an accident resulting in one of the vehicle overturning. That's the vehicle that Sir Kevin Smith was a passenger in. At the end of it, he sustained serious injuries and he was taken to the Linstead Hospital where he was pronounced dead by the doctor on duty. The 3 constables that were in the vehicle with him, one of them was pronounced dead.
Actually giving us a report on the situation. That's what's happened. So, a very, very serious situation, and it has developed into you just couldn't make it up, could you? It's one of those things you actually seen in a horror film or in a movie. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. We'll appreciate that. And I say, it's one of those stories that you just can't imagine, and some crazy things that's been going on. It's I can't believe it myself. I can't believe it sometimes. And we are living in 2021. Yeah. Let's try and move on and see what happens. If hoping everything will be sorted out there, and everyone will be fine. Also, Muta Baruka also has something to say about the situation. So let me hear if we can hear what Muta has to say.
We have the little altar boy them. Altar boys, the little young school boys them. And them carry them behind the church. Enough little youth get touch. Him life is not the same again because big father, where I'm supposed to respect because father is father, Father. That means why you have to respect him a certain way, because him hold the angle and the blade to heaven. Him represent what you are look for when you talk about God. And if you can't see God, you're going to see him. It's where I go on. You mean so we're going to just go through this all the while, and it come and go. And we know wake up and say something wrong. What is it that is grabbing the people them so much? Them can't see it, them can't feel it, them can't taste it, them can't smell it. But when them say you can't see it because you don't have a spiritual eye. Spiritual which eye? Is the past that talk to you. And them talk to you out of a book where them don't know who write it. All them can tell you say is the word of God. All him know says the word of God. What language did God speak to talk to our next man? Him say, well, Muta, you're too materialistic, Him talk to the spirit. So him have a direct connection with God. The past me attack, him have a direct connection with God where you don't have. You tell me that? You have a direction with God where you don't have. When you sit down in your house, and the Bible say, you know, look here, the reality say the man a beat you. The man a bust your ass. And you go back then through past and say this and past that, and you don't have no thinking, you don't have no mind. The past just take away your mind, take away your brains, and take away your money. And look on film house. Look on the man house. Look on the man house. Look on the man house, Rasta. The first time I see me, I know there's something wrong, you know. Because a person is supposed to have so much ring on them finger, Rasta. A drugs man, wear them with a drugs man looks so. Drugs man. Me know say a drugs man looks so. The way him dress, him look like a drugs man to me. You know what I say? The way him dress. One of them man will just come from England or Canada or somewhere. You know, him have that feeling. But him talk. Him talk with that talk where you can't sit through it if you just listen to him. Because it's listen to people that listen to him why them get caught, you know. Because them gone beyond him flesh and gone beyond him clothes now. They might say, don't watch what him have on, you know, because him work hard feet. A year money him use and spend it. I'm going to have some other dealings around the corner. I bet you any money so them going to find out something about him outside of the church. My word I know today, I don't know what today is. Today what? Today the 20th. Muta Baruka say, them going to find something upon that man there outside of the church thinking. Outside of the church thinking, them going to find something upon him. Yeah, man, it's a dangerous man, that dangerous thing. And the more you hear about it, you find it's that dangerous religion where I tell people about washing of blood. Dangerous.
Yeah, Muta there having his words of talking about the situation that is actually going on. And as I say, good on you, sir. You know, and I say Muta would never have leave that out, you know what I mean? And I say he's saying a lot of things about. And if you want to see more about that that interview, or that's what Muta is actually saying, you can go and have a look at YouTube. And as I say, he's got a whole lot to say about the situation that is going on. And as I say, it seems like so many sinister things is actually going on. You know, so many different sinister things is actually going on with pastors, you know what I mean? And you've got situation these days, you know what I mean? For example, if you hit a child, you probably will go to prison, or you will go to prison. Yet, you've got various people doing some crazy things. I can't say nothing but crazy things. And you've got people who's going to so-called churches, big men, big women, being whipped. Also, getting their blessings. They call it getting their blessing. Let's see what's happening here.
He's to test to know whether you're ready for the ministry. He's not dead. He is not dead. Yes. You are everything. You are my splendor. Till the day Jesus, I am yours. You are my
Big people there as I say, in a church being whipped, and all in the name of the Lord Jesus. Can you comprehend that? I can't comprehend it. I mean, like, I can't get around to. I can't get around to. And there's another thing I actually came across. On, I said big people, and they actually have somebody spitting in the face. A pastor spitting in the face to get their blessing. And I must say to you as well, the pastor, who you see, we started with this story at the start of the program. That pastor in 2018, and this is not just happening in my birthplace. In 2018, that pastor, he was in London in 2018, and his church was packed. All these people in the church was saying they was getting their blessing. Yeah, they was getting their blessing. This is in London, in Tooting, in 2018. This is all getting their blessing. They're having the devil cheers out of them. I don't understand that. Why are you having the devil cheers out of you? You must be a devil in the first place. You're having the devil. If you're, the way I see it, if you're humble and you know who to worship and you're kind and you're loving and you respect humanity and you've got love for humanity, yeah, as well as yourself, and be kind to your fellow human beings, what else do you need? What else do you need? Why do you have to have the devil chasing out of you? So, well, there's some serious. I don't understand. I'll never be able to understand. I need somebody who deals in that sort of stuff to explain it to me, because I'm never gonna understand it. I never understand it. But I never born that way. And is it because some of our? I haven't reached my rant yet, but I gotta say this. Is it because some of our people are? Do I want to say that? Fool! My grandmother said you can't call people fool. You must call them foolish. Is it because some of our people are foolish? You can't have people spitting in your face and call it blessing. There must be something strange going on. Must be something strange. Do you think spitting in your face is going to get you to heaven? Really? Oh dear. I need to move on. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The program will say, get in touch with breakthrough.tv@gmail.com. Yeah, thank you. Wow, as I say, it's one of those ones. I say it's a crazy week this week, and I can't sort of really get my head around what's going on in the news. You know what I mean? If it was let me move on. Now, a Ladywood man who was actually putting his rubbish out came face to face with a gun in his face by armed police officers. And as I say, he was actually had a party and he was actually putting his rubbish out like about 4 o'clock in the morning, and he came face to face with police officers, and he claimed he was handcuffed and put down to the ground, face down. And his mates come and have a look. They also was handcuffed. He says, let's see this.
Yeah, man. You got a gun, please, let you go.
And there you have it. As I say, he says they had guns at the door. Anyway, as I say, he was handcuffed, and as he put his face down, the officers said they was actually had a tip-off. They had to, their intelligence allegedly told them that there was guns at the premises. Well, Mr. Tobias McKay didn't have any guns. And he says he's a hard-working man. The police has said whenever they get intelligence, they have to act in the public interest and make sure everything is safe. And that's what they do. Then they also said if he wants to complain or put in a complaint, he can also do so. Mr. Tobias says he will be making a complaint. But as I say, it's one of those things. And he said, as I say, he's a hard-working man. He hasn't done anything. And there was no guns that was actually found at the property. What can you say? Let me move on. An epidemic within an epidemic. Police killing of African American is at a pandemic rate in the USA. While the pandemic is slowing, the increase of killing African American and colored men is on the increase. The Washington Post online database has reported in 2015, 7,216 police officers had killed people of color. This year, the rate is running at 914. African Americans are 2 to 3 times more being killed by police officers than their white counterparts. A movement is now growing to hold these violent officers to accountability. Moving on. Now, the family of missing African Americans say more needs to be done, with more than 5,430 missing cases in the United States. African American families are finding that they are not receiving the same amount of coverage as their Caucasians counterparts. They are not receiving the publicity. And the New News Vision, the News Vision reporter, Andrea Cobb, spoke to David Robinson. David Robinson's son, Daniel Case, has been missing. And he's launched an appeal to see if they can find his son. And as I say, it's not only in the UK that African Caribbean people are going missing. It is also happening in the US. And sometimes you wonder what is going on. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can do this to your friends right now, your granny, your auntie, whoever wants to tune in. Yeah, we thank you. Now, my next story. My next story is sports. Now, sports. So, the T20 World Cup has kicked off. And I shouldn't laugh. I can't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. What you laughing at, Carl? You laughing at somebody, we're going to say. The West Indians lose in an embarrassing loss to England in Dubai in their first match. They were sent in by England and they were dismissed for a mere 55 runs in 14.20 overs. England led the victory. And I know the West Indies, the West Indies cricketing been talking. Well, guys, as you know, I am a big supporter. But, you know what they say, innit? You're not here in the studio like me. I can chat as much as I want. Let your bat do the talking, guys. Let your bat do the talking. Common sense, isn't it? Most of the time, I only deal with common sense. Let your bat do the talking. Yeah? And that says, instead of talking to the media and the press and all, you're going to do what you're going to do. But guys never do it. And I'm not knocking it. Because I'm sure we're not going to improve after this. Yeah? And let's say, all I can say, once again, let the bat do the talking, man. I got to say, I was never a good cricketer. So, I put my hand up to that. Let me move on. Yeah. Motor racing. Max Verstappen won the US Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton came second and Sergio Perez came third. It was a very good race. It was a hard fight by both drivers, you know. And I think Max Verstappen got a little bit lucky. Because if Lewis Hamilton had been able to sort of put what I call the hammer down at that particular time, he would have actually win the race. But he wasn't able to do that, so it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones, yeah. Let me move on. I'm looking forward to the next couple of races because we are in the last stage of those cup races now. So I'm looking actually forward to those races. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. And I know Max Verstappen is dying to win because he's never won a championship. He's never won a championship. Even though with the no, I can't say that. Even though with the with the this and the that and the that and he's never won a championship. You know, but the way sometimes they portray him in the media, you think this man has won 7, but it's only Lewis have done that. Yeah. Moving on. Entertainment. Tanya Stevens has reported that she was raped more than one occasion as a teenager. Stevens has said at the time this took place, and she says, Shabba Ranks was the king of dancehall. Lady Patra was also the queen. And she said the rapist was considered to be the next one. You see where she's going with this? That's where she's going with that. However, there are some dancehall fans who's very reluctant to sort of believe her in the fact that she has named the culprit. And I think a lot of people wants her to name the culprit, you know what I mean? Gonna have a look at Tanya Stevens and what you can see what she's saying with her story. Yeah.
Because me identify with it. Me can pick up on it. Certain things what them say, me know that now come from a girl whenever get raped. Because when I say to resonate within me, right. Me know when I true. Me know. That's why I know something because they're raping. Me not ask Christ. Me not ask Christ. Me I tell you.
Listen.
I'll have to go listen to the victim them, and some of them I tell lies. Some of them I tell lies for real. But you see, one of them I talk the truth, girl, it resonate and it take my intestines and it twist them in a some nuts and it put me in my bed and I hug up my knee and in a fetal and I cry. Because me feel them pain. Me know that pain there. Me know the pain there. The only thing that brought me out of that pain. First of all, I've heard many people say, oh, so if him really rape her, why she go back there? Girl, me date one of my rapists. After rape. Shannon, me don't know how to explain it to you.
Was that a way that you justified it?
I did. The only thing we can explain it as the need for validation.
Right.
Because it broke me down so bad, I felt dirty. I just wanted to hear I was good. I wanted to hear that there was nothing wrong with me. The singer, what did violate me, you know? Me actually there around him for a while too. I went back near him. I wanted to hear him say it was a mistake, it was an accident, he was drunk. I wanted to hear something.
Yeah.
Me did just want to repair my belief in a people and my trust. I want to repair my belief in myself. I never trust my judgment and I want him to fix it. Because me did trust him. That never happened. When I realized it now come, I stop around him. Second set, where my friend, I start date one of them. When you know when I broke it off, when he proposed.
What?
When I say, oh my God, this is crazy, this is madness now, this is gone far enough. At that time I broke it off. When he proposed. And this, when he proposed, this was when, let me tell you now. This is before me have my daughter. My daughter born at 21. My second time I get raped was 19 years old. It's a song that start play on the radio. And I think say, Indeed affected by the facts and now may I start.
Tanya Stevenson there talking about her rape situation. You can watch more of that video on YouTube, you know what I mean? And as I say, terrible thing when situation like that happens, you know. And she says she know the person. And I suppose that happens in a lot of those cases, you know. A lot of those cases. Let me move on. Now, still with entertainment, emerging singer Shay is calling for the return of the death penalty as a means, a stem, the state or the spike in murder. She says it seems killing become a hobby for so many people. And what she says politicians need to reconsider hanging also for senior citizens as well, because senior citizens do things that need the death penalty. And that's what she's saying. She says about some 935 people were murdered in Jamaica this year. We haven't reached the end of the year yet. And this figure comes out the 28th of August. Yeah. So we've long passed August. So by the time we reach December 31st, that figure looks like it may reach over 1,000. Yeah. And I don't know what to say about that, you know, because I've never sort of this is me personally. I never sort of like the death penalty. I don't believe any human has the right to take any other human life. That's how I've always felt. I know you're gonna say to me now, what about if them take somebody that you know alive? Yeah, no, that's what I say. Common sense, you're gonna say to me. So, but it's a hard one for me to say, you know what I mean? Bring the death penalty back. As I say, and I was brought up that way. I've never believed in another human taking another human life in any situation. Yeah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, yes, we're moving on to my rant. Wow. Now my rant is about rape. Now, rape is a very, very serious situation. We need to stop it. Rape happens all over the world. Yeah. And we need to stop it. Both men and also women. Women and men has also been raped. And it is a very, very serious thing. And a lot of the rape situations occurred by people who know the victims. Yeah. So we need to stop it. We also need to say to women, and I know women gonna say, you can't say nothing to me, but I can do this. We also need to say to women, you have to be careful. Watch who you hang out with. Also, be careful when you go out. Make sure you don't travel on your own. Let's come back. Be careful if you go to a bar or wherever you go. Make sure somebody don't put something in your drink. And then you don't know what's going to happen next. You know? So we got to be so careful with this. And I got to be so careful and delicate in how I handle this situation. Because it's not a nice thing. And I would not like to happen to any of my family. And I'm sure a lot of you out there wouldn't like it to happen to any of your family. And it says a lot of rape cases actually takes place by the victim actually knowing the person. Yeah. So we need to stamp it out. And I say to some of you women, you need to be aware of who you're hanging out with. Yeah. And men, you need to know, you need to realize that no means no. The other thing I want to say is, which is very, very delicate. I'm going to say this now. This is very, very delicate. Some of you women will also say somebody has raped you when it hasn't happened. And I'm not dissing anybody in any way. This is the real world. You don't know it happened as well as I know it happened. Some of you women will say somebody raped you when it hasn't happened. You know what I mean? And you ruin somebody's life. Yeah. And I think if that's the situation, in that situation, you should also be charged and go to prison. Because if you ruin somebody's life and the person was innocent, it's not very nice. So we have to try and I'm not, as I said, this is very delicate. I'm not sort of, I can't even find the right words because this is a live program. I'm not sort of to mellow it down and saying women are to blame, because you're not. You know, you're not. So we just got to be careful. And sometimes say, we just got to be careful of how this goes. And we need to stamp out this and make sure this doesn't keep happening. And they say you have to be careful of who you hang out with, who you go with. And the other thing is that I want to say as well, which comes up into Tanya Stevens' story there, is that the fact, when it's happened to you, I know she probably said she was ignored, or the person who did it to her was powerful, or the rest of it. The only advice I can give, and I'm not a recommended advisor, but the only common sense, I only use common sense. The only advice I can give to a lot of you ladies, if this happened to you, go and report it straight away. Don't leave it for years, because we see a lot of these cases now been leave for so long, such a long time. Get the confidence. You know what I mean? You're going to say, I don't know what you're going to do. You're probably right. But you got to get the confidence and go and report it when it happens straight away, instead of leaving it. Or if it's happening to you, scream out to a friend, call for help. You know what I mean? No matter where you are, even if you're sticking in his house or whatever, if you're in his house or apartment or where it's happening, scream out. Bite and scratch, you know what I mean? Fight. You know, if that is happening to you, yeah, bite and scratch and fight and kick him in wherever it hurts, you know, if you can. Or if you find something, you know what I mean? You know what to do with it. So, those are the situation. And I said, this is a very, very delicate situation for me to deal with, because I'm a man. And the first thing I'm going to get upon somebody, oh, he's only a man, he don't know what to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, he's only a man, he don't know what he's talking about. But I'm only using common sense. And a lot of you out there will know that I'm right. Common sense. Common sense is the best thing. Let me move on for my next rant. Because I say, I don't want to stay on that one, because it's a very, very delicate situation, that one. And yeah. And I'm not no expert, you know what I mean? Because I know there's experts out there can deal with that. And then they say, who are you saying that you're not an expert? Yeah. Okay. Now, my next story now is what is happening. What happened? Someone was gone silly. Let me give you this. Let me give you this. A man. Let me give you this. A man. No, have a listen. A man says he was stabbed with a knife, and he was with the church that we talk about at the start of the program. He was stabbed with a knife. He was beaten, and he stayed for 7 years. He hasn't relinquished his name. He wants his identity to be kept. So he hasn't revealed his name. But he said he was stabbed, he was beat, he was battered. When he was rescued, and they asked, why did he put up with it? You know what him said? You know what him said? Him said, I did it for God. Now, I am not a religious expert. Yes. All this spitting in people's face, all this, a woman had her throat slashed last week. All is stabbing people with knife. There's no sacrifice. Finish. In the early days in the Bible, this is where you might count me out now, because as I say, I do know my religion, but I know some of you are experts out there because I do study the Bible every day. I want to study religion every day. Right? Now, if I remember right, in the Old Testament, they used to slaughter animals. They used to have sacrifice. Now, when Jesus come, when Jesus come, Jesus came and he stopped all that. Yeah. I know some people are still waiting for Jesus. Says Jesus hasn't come yet, but that is another story for another day. Yeah. So my bit of the Old and the New Testament is when Jesus come, Jesus say, stop all that. That's why he came. Yeah. No, you being sacrificed not gonna get you into heaven. It's not gonna happen. All you're gonna do is end up dead. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I can assure you. You having you been whipped is not gonna get you into heaven. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. So I have to think. Is some of the people stupid? Let me talk now. We as, what you say, African Caribbean people. People don't like to hear me say slave, but let me look before slave. Let me go back. Because we exist long before slave. But let me go back to, let me start where slavery starts, right? We was transferred to the Caribbean, right? Cross the Atlantic in the belly of a ship. Kidnapped from our descendants, our ancestors, was kidnapped from Africa, brought to the Caribbean, treated badly, slinged overboard on the ship. Yeah, we slinged overboard on the ship. Who don't survive? The sharks was already waiting for us because the shark used to follow the ship. Because they know they're gonna get food because a lot of those ancestors not gonna make it. Yeah. We move on. We see the troubles that we have in the early days in the Caribbean or the West Indies, where you have to fight to get your rights and you have to fight to get you this and you have to glad it out. We see in America where the Civil War. So I've come forward. I haven't even gone back far. But we see in America even that's far, but it's far. This is where I'm going to say. We see in America where African American has to fight in the Civil War, get killed in the Civil War. All kind of things happen to them in the Civil War. We see the Ku Klux Klan burning people in the US of A, right? And doing all kind of horrible things to them. Yeah. And after all that, I haven't even stepped into modern times. After all that atrocity, you tell me that you want to be stabbed up. You want to have your throats cut. And you want somebody spitting at your face. And tell me, say, you're going to get your best sin. What kind of thing that? What kind of thing that? Hey, where want to live in? What kind of thing that? Want to have been beaten there. Beaten. Want to have man. And it's not no other race. If any other race was doing this too, would have been fuming. You know, I'll join up and go to this church. I'll let people whip on her and spit it down the face and kick on her and treat on her. That's not gonna get into the heaven. No devil, no. That's brainwash. You understand? That's brainwash. Every organization, everywhere you go, you'll have different cults. But I would think we of African Caribbean or African American or African descendants would have come a long way and get some damn common sense. Look at that. Look at that. What's that all about? And I guess as well, you'll have to be bringing your money. You'll have to give in the money because there's one story, which the pastor talk about. If you're late, you have to pay a fee, and it's not like a $5 or $10. You have to pay a whole lot of fee if you're late to come to his church. Yeah. This man was a high up man. He was high up. He had contacts. He had contacts everywhere. He also was part of a church organization and sitting on the board for one of these Pentecostal church. Yeah. So he What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? You're not gonna tell me so, oh, me is a sinner. I don't think so. Why are you taking that sort of brainwashing? Why are you taking that? After we come from so far. We come from so far to survive. Only to have somebody beat you and cut your throat. Yeah. The other thing I want to look at is the fact that there was children involved in this situation. You know what I mean? Children is involved in this church. You have big people and you have children. Big people, what are you doing with your children? What are you doing with your children? What is the matter with them? What is the matter with them? Why are you not doing this to your children? You have children. I'm caught up about this big time. You have children. You're getting your children involved in things like that and all this kind of thing. And it's brainwashing them now to growing up and them think, oh, it's blessing they're getting. Mister, when Jesus came and he get rid of all that sort of thing. You never see Jesus spitting in nobody's face. You never hear of Jesus putting kids in nobody's face. Them sit down and pray and say, we get your blessing. There's no way I've ever seen in the Bible that Jesus is spitting in nobody's face. Or Jesus stabbing anybody with knife. Or cutting anybody's throat. We never see it. I think there's a part when he says, down with Moses' law. Okay, we know thou shalt not kill. And all the 10 commandments. We keep the 10 commandments. But there's no way in the Bible he was spitting in nobody's face. And whipping human beings. We see this man here now. This man is bigger than Michael Jackson. This is Kevin O'Simit. He's bigger than Michael Jackson. Yeah. And this is his coming in with his entourage. And it's like a money making organization, is it? It is all about the money. Yeah. We see him coming in with his entourage and he's got his big thing and he's, you know what I mean? You know, everybody's with him. Yeah. Let me see if I can see a little bit more of this. Look, big entourage. This is Jamaica. Jamaica's got a lot of poor people. A lot of people in the world are poor, but this is Jamaica. And those people, a lot of those people are supporting my poor people as well. It's for them money in my tech. I feed them money in my tech. Building up is this big organization. I can't believe it. I said I can't believe it. Talk about brainwash. Yeah. And I suppose all these people will be protecting him. A lot of these people want him to be, you know, they probably see me as the bad guy. they probably see me as the bad guy. But I can't see what is going on here. And how people can be so stupid to succumb to something like this. I can't believe it. Are you ready? So we see the preacher here stepping out of his motorcade. I've never seen a car like that before, and I've never driven a car like that before. And he's been worshipped. You know what I mean? He's been worshipped. Taking off his hat, enjoying himself. He's bigger than any pop star that you've ever seen. Yeah, he's bigger than any pop star you have ever seen. You know what I mean? And you can't believe why people sort of succumb to this sort of thing. He's like, you know what I mean? I'm not even going to say that. But I suppose those people cheat him. And he's got, as I say, he's got all these different titles. His excellencies, he's all different titles. If you go to this page, if you go to the Pathway International page, you'll see all these different things that he does, or his different thing. Now, is alleged that he died. A lot of people saying he didn't die, but it is alleged that he actually died. The thing, what we find unusual is that if you, when we examine it, see this, why if you die, why would you have a mask on? Why do you have a mask on your face? And if you look at his hand, he's holding a mask where the red circle is. He's actually investigative. We're investigative journalists now. He's actually holding a mask in his hand. If he's dead, isn't that unusual? And I say, why would you have a mask on your face if you're dead? And as I say, up there he's got no mask on his face in the top picture with the red circle. He's got no mask on, but he's got the mask in his hand. How did he get that mask in his hand if he's dead? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My time is almost at an end. Let me say thank you for watching the program. We'll be back here next week, all being well. Don't forget to subscribe to the program. Remember, this is a live stream. So thank you. Have a great week. And we apologize because we wasn't able to broadcast yesterday. But we'll be back in our usual space next week, Wednesday, from 8 till 10. Thank you. Have a great weekend. God bless you. Look after yourself and keep safe.
What's on Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339 Dudley Road, New Star Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam Jam.
Planning an event? Do it professionally. Please contact Breakthrough Event Management Team and get everything under one roof for both indoor and outdoor occasions, birthday parties, bridal and baby showers, anniversaries, funerals, backyard BBQs and more. We offer a video and photography service, marquees, decoration and a PA system to hire, with popular New Style Radio DJs spinning old and new school hits. Please contact 07584 197 380 and book all your catering needs with Reggae Jam Jam catering service on 0787 244 3765. And remember, do it good and done.